supermarket.
Okay, you ready? Right, so what I want to do is kind of like go around in turn, ask a couple of you when you're training, okay, and what time of day you're training, and what you're doing about your nutrient set, and explain full how you should be actually implementing it properly, okay? So I'm going with Donna first. I'm joking, sorry. Go on, Dawn, give us an idea.
So I train Mondays at 11, Fridays at 10 o'clock one, 10
Okay.
o'clock 10. Usually I have my protein shake with 2 scoops of oats in it, because I prefer it that way, and then maybe then I've just started to leave it, it's that, and then sometimes I'll have the bowl of fruit with yogurt.
Okay, this is directly afterwards you're doing, yes?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Right, so my main things I like you to do, unless you're in ketosis, I want to talk a lot about ketosis as well, okay, because you desperately want to know ketosis. Okay, so make sure, I'm going to reiterate stuff that you've already heard, okay, but I need to show you as we're doing it. Right, so the main thing you need to do is you keep your carbs and your protein in your workouts, okay, unless you're in ketosis. And again, all ketosis when you're in protein and fats solely is your main 2 macronutrients. 3 macronutrients, okay, carbohydrate, protein, and your fats, okay, and your fats. Right, so we do not put fats around workouts. This is because when you give any kind of insulin release, which you will get around the workouts, your body's desperately looking for an insulin release, okay? It will put that particular macronutrient into stores. Right, so if I'm back to workout, say at 9 o'clock, 2 hours before that, I'd make sure I have some form of fat in there, because the body can absorb it and it's okay. I'd make sure it's good with a complex carb. Right, so what I'd do is I'd have oats. Right, just oats. Okay, simple oats, okay? Don't have to be any flash oats or anything like that. I'd have a white protein, okay, and I'd have coconut oil, or I'd put about 10 of them into my protein shake. Right, and I'd mix that with water. And then I'd work out, and straight after, I'd make sure I'd only have a white protein and oats, okay? Because if I get my insulin response from my pancreas and it releases insulin, the body will not look at that as energy, because it's used to using that for energy, right, carbohydrates. So it's very, very, very good at storing stuff it doesn't want. So I restore that. So just reiterate that, do not put fats around workouts. It should be predominantly carbs and protein. Now if you're in ketosis, this is a bit of a defunct thing. And at first we still don't put fats around the workout, because you're still going to get some kind of insulin response from a white protein or some form of protein we put into the body to kind of open up the cells quickly. But the rest of your day should just be protein and fats. I want to ask a question about ketosis. Oh. So basically your ketosis is where you knock all your carbs out. Okay, I'll talk about good carbs, bad carbs and that sort of stuff, and where you can actually use bad carbs and when you shouldn't be having bad carbs. But all you do is you predominantly protein and fat. Right, so you need your body now to make sure that's its main energy source. If that's its main energy source, at any point in the day when it needs energy, it's going to use fat, okay, including when you sleep. The problem what people do is when they go into ketosis is they drop their fats. Why they keep their fats the same? You actually have to up them. But you make sure you're predominantly monosaturated fats, okay, good fats. Okay, now, bad fats, such as cheese, okay, cheese, butter, although butter's not that bad, is just pulled up next door. Who's got the 2 cars on the on next door? There's 2 cars on next door, and there's another one that's, yeah, could you put it from this side? Sorry mate, it's going to be over in a minute. I forgot to say that a second ago, sorry Michael. Okay, so saturated fats you need in your diet, right? You need 20% of saturated fats in your diet. Everyone does. So out of your 100% of fats in the day, you need 20% of saturated fats. The rest of it needs to be monosaturated fats, and that works for ketosis and normal nutrition. Right, but the reason why we need saturated fats is saturated fats and normal fats do the exact same thing apart from one particular thing. Right, they're good for brain power, durability, processing protein, okay? But the other 2 things they do is saturated fats are good for the immune system, and monosaturated are very, very good at cleaning the system through. Right, so that's why we need a little bit of this in our diet. But the best saturated fat you can eat, pretty much, is coconut oil. And you've all heard me say this, the fact that when you eat coconut oil, you put it on your tongue, it melts. When you put cheese on your mouth, it does not do that. It does exactly the same in the body. Okay, so it gives it a chance to be able to do its job. So we're pretty much having saturated fat, at the same time not really clogging the arteries up. Now if you're going to eat things such as like feta, it's fine. Sorry, thank you mate, thank you both. If you're going to eat things like fat, it's fine. You can eat quite a lot. Just make sure you eat a lot of this. Okay? These olive oils, yeah, okay? Avocado, okay? Pretty much king of good fats because of the potassium levels in it. As women, predominantly, we all okay, this is a real good little treat for women. Okay, avocado. You don't need too much of it. I quarter it up and have quarter of that. It's good, it's got a lot of potassium in it. It's got a lot of potassium which draws water out of the system, push it into the muscles, okay, makes you appear more thinner. So you want to get a lot of this. Hey, Jill. Sorry, mate. Say hello to one of them. So you want to get a lot of avocado in there. Right, so yes, that's it. When you train, at what time of day is you train? I know.
In the evening.
In the evening.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me again what you do around your workouts. You tell me.
Okay, so an hour before, or perhaps 3/4 an hour before, I'll have a protein shake,
Okay.
and then afterwards I'll have a protein shake, and then I might have an evening meal of sort of chicken salad.
So where you put your carbs?
I generally don't have carbs.
You just you carb free at the moment,
No, I just have them in the morning.
right? So you just have your carbs in the morning, right?
Yeah.
See, this is where things can get a little bit complicated, right? So it's fine. That's fine. So all you're doing is when we wake up in the morning, our cortisol levels are high, right? And our cortisol hormone is our main chemical that helps us burn weight. Really helps us burn weight. Okay, it also heightens our kind of like our irritation as such. When it happens, the body starts to panic a little bit. So at first it continues to like stay high, metabolism stays high, it's in a panic mode, and after a while, if you keep it too high for too long, it starts to shut down. Right, so we need to control it. The main thing that controls it, carbohydrate. When you're in ketosis, will be vitamin C. Vitamin C does it in normal nutrition as well, okay? So what you're doing is you're having your carbs at breakfast, right, but you're lowering your cortisol levels quite rapidly. So throughout the day, you're kind of like using all your energy, and when you get to your workout, right, it's low in energy as such. The cortisol levels will be coming up a little bit more. Right, so you can do one or two things. You can do that, or take the carbs at breakfast and have high cortisol levels there. Okay, make the body happy in the workout, raise your cortisol levels again, and lower them again. Right, so you can try both. They both kind of work. They work well for one
So
person.
have them at lunchtime.
Yeah, try them at lunch, okay?
Yeah.
Try them at lunch. So when I give you a nutrition plan, what I do is I put carbs at breakfast, I put my lunch, I put around workout. So I want your body happy. Okay, I need your body to be happy. I can't have you crashing and burning. I don't want your cortisol going nuts, and I don't need your body shutting down. That's the wrong thing to do. Okay, to lose weight is a bigger picture than just losing weight. You will all lose weight at a more rapid way and keep it off a hell of a lot longer than someone who's on a fast weight loss plan. Right, so all you've done is you've lost cortisol levels fast, although you're not having a lot in carbs, and you don't have any for the rest of the day. Do you have any after your workout? You don't. Okay, so be careful. You have to be careful. So what can happen there is, if you don't control it or have any kind of vitamin C or anything like that, okay, your body will go in a bit of a... Do you sleep in the right amount?
Not fantastic.
No. So that's
No.
possibly because your cortisol is staying too high, okay? You're not calming the body down.
Right.
So there's another big issue. We need to sleep well, okay? Sleep deprivation kicks in. Once again, I'm going to say the word again, cortisol, okay? And it's a horrible vicious cycle that it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So I want you to, from now on, if you're going to do that, okay, you have your carbs at breakfast, so don't mind, go carb-free throughout the day, making sure you've got your protein in place and your fats in place. Right, and then have a few carbs afterwards, let the body calm, you'll go into a calmer state. You can implement things like apple cider vinegar, which also lower your acidity in the body as well, which can get quite hard for workouts. Okay, so apple cider vinegar is really good for lowering acidity, making us alkaline, helping our body rest more, process food better, okay, good for hair and nails and things like that. I've got some next video, that's around the back of my head. Okay, so good, well, you can do that, but try other things. Don't be scared of doing that, it's not a problem. So 1 week you might you need to give it a good run as well. Don't just go like a couple of days, but I'm not too sure about that. You need to give it a good week or so. Right, so push the envelope at breakfast, so we have this protein and fats and vitamins and minerals, 3 egg omelette or something, peppers and onions, loads of black pepper. Okay, black pepper is really good for metabolism, fantastic good for metabolism. Get cinnamon extract into your diet as much as possible. Okay, so that makes us more insulin efficient. Insulin efficiency is where the body can uptake carbohydrates, okay, release insulin from the pancreas and absorb it into the muscle better, i.e. not storing them as fat. So once again though, if we do that, if we got really good insulin sensitivity or insulin sensitivity such as we're really good at releasing insulin, if you're going to put a macronutrient there that doesn't require, don't worry about protein, it's with the fats and the carbs, okay, it's going to store one of them if it doesn't really require it. This is why I don't put a lot of carbs in, I drip feed carbs in. I make sure that your cells and your muscles are just topped up and not spilling over. So the body's happy and it's growing, it's just not going, it's not overcooking it. Now if you want to be really careful and make sure you're not going to get that result whatsoever, You do not mix carbs and fats together full stop across the board. So at breakfast, you go protein and fats, vitamins and minerals. You're going to get a little bit of carbs from something, okay? At lunch, so that's where you're going to put your carbs, you just go protein and carbs. Protein, your potatoes, so chicken and potatoes, vegetables. Mid-afternoon, you'll just go nuts, don't add an apple to it. Prior to workout, you go protein and carbs, or leave that and just go protein. And afterwards, you go protein and carbs. Yeah, right, you can do that. So you don't run the risk of getting an insulin response. You're going to get an insulin response, but you're not running the risk of one of the macronutrients going into stores. If you mix sugar and fat together, no matter what, you will get fat storage. No matter what. Bad food combination, amazing bad. If you mix complex, which is this, okay, rice, popcorn, okay, you're not going to run that risk as much because you're not getting a big spike. You're getting a gentle spike of insulin from the pancreas. Okay, as long as you're mixing it with a non-saturated fat, such as, well, that is such, you can mix it with that as massive because you're more monounsaturated fats. It's going to absorb that in the body nicely because it's easy. It's easy to get into the body. So if we get a fast release and a dense fat, it's going to store it no matter what. If we get a slow release of insulin from complex carbs, okay, and then a nice fat in there as well, with the protein, it's actually going to kind of like get a good chance for all them macronutrients to absorb into the body properly. Does that make sense a bit? Makes sense a bit? Yeah. Okay, so king of carbs. That is king of carbs. Oats is king of carbs. Lows cholesterol, good for blood pressure. It's massively complex. You don't have to buy the expensive ones. Okay, rice is fine. Even white rice is fine. Now, this is the only carbohydrate that can actually change your molecular structure when you eat protein. So on its own, it's useless. All that is brown rice being stripped of its nutrients. Okay, if you don't like brown rice, which I don't, I would say white rice. As long as you add a protein with it and vegetables with it, okay, it actually turns to a complex carb. But don't eat it on its own. White rice. Popcorn, really good. I eat a lot of popcorn, really good afternoon snack. As long as you're mixing it with protein, okay? Don't eat carbs on their own. Don't eat carbs on their own. I've said this a few times and recently, okay? You eat carbohydrates on their own and the body gets fuddled. You might think, look, a bowl of oats for breakfast is good. It's okay. It's massively detrimental towards your endocrine system. Your endocrine system is your hormone system, okay? It's what we are, one big hormone. Too much upset. So, yeah, sorry. So all that is it will just flatten it. When you flatten your endocrine system, it's not functioning properly, your metabolism goes with it. Okay, so things such as like alcohol. I'll talk a little bit about alcohol, so I know last night because there was a lot of comments from the group, I thought that was fun. Okay, so alcohol's not a problem to a point. Okay, it's not great for us, it's bad for the liver, and it does all sorts of funky things to us in terms of large blood plasma levels and things. Right, but you probably heard me say sorry 1,000 times. As long as you're eating protein with it, just protein, trying to keep it a lean protein, your protein synthesis stays high. All protein synthesis is your body's ability to be able to process protein, break it down, turn it into amino acids, and absorb it. Right, but the problem with alcohol, any alcohol, I'll talk about the two different sorts of alcohol that we'll talk about, two different sorts of alcohol in a minute, is the fact that we get this chemical switch on the brain that makes us hungry instantly. Especially with spirits such as like vodka and brandy and whiskey. With wine and beer, you don't get that switch on straight away, but you put on weight from wine and beer, and champagne, red wine, okay, ciders, you put on weight instantly from it. You'll get water retention like crazy from it. Right, but this thing doesn't switch on, but it does after about 2 or 3 glasses. And then your inhibition starts to go, okay, then you start to think, I need another glass, because the body's craving that very first bite you had from it. Before you know, your cortisol levels have gone through the roof. Okay, your protein synthesis is dropping like crazy. You start eating stuff because you actually just think, I don't really care. Right, you're putting on weight, this horrible cycle starts to kick in, and it all goes out more. Your cholesterol starts to rise, because the first time you have an alcoholic drink, your LDL lowers. Your LDL is your low density lipids, your bad lipids, right? Your bad lipids, okay? And then when you go past the next 2 or 3 drinks, it starts to rise. Okay, your HDL, which are your high density lipids, which are the one we want to be in control, start to kind of not function that well, okay, and the other ones take over, they start to rise, right? Cortisol levels do the same, the body feels it, it knows it, it goes into a panic state, and even something I said to you this morning, like before you know, you get to about 11, 12 o'clock and you're crying for some weird reason, you've got too short and white, okay, and that's just where your body's going to a big panic state. It's really weird. And then you go to bed, you think you slept, you haven't, you've had the most restless night's sleep, wake up the next day, if your protein synthesis is super flat, your metabolism is flat, so no matter what you put in your mouth, you're going to store it. So the best thing to do when you're drinking is stick to spirits, white spirits, okay, and mixers that are mixers that are basically real low glycemic index, which is fine sugars, you know, or even just water, and then eat loads of protein. And you're in a safer place then, okay?
I did only eat chicken. I did come out and go, I do need to eat, but I did only eat chicken.
So, I mean, look, the best thing to do is, as Alex said, okay, you're worried about hangovers or actually toxins and stuff. Just have some vinegar,
I did have that.
a little bit of honey, a little bit of turmeric, a little bit of black pepper, and you can squeeze a little bit of lemon in there. That's the best hangover cure you can do, okay? So, I mean, you're right. So what that does is it lowers your cortisol levels drastically, it kills off toxins from the alcohol, it cleanses the liver, okay, makes us alkali. Thank you. Makes us really alkali, okay? When the body's alkali, it can function properly. What's your meat? Oh, you can't. Sorry. Okay, so when the body's alkali, it processes food better, okay, it functions better, and we feel better. We just feel better. So let's talk about bad carbs, okay?
Can I just ask about yogurt? What is a yogurt? Because I always get confused with so what do you class yogurt as? A fat or?
No, just a protein.
It's just a
But
protein.
you keep it, yeah, try and get the ones that are low in fats, low in carbs, a whole lot, okay, but I want it high in protein, so skyr yogurt's probably the best one there.
Yeah.
Right, but the sugary one, so the flavoured one, you want to put around your workouts, so I wanted that nutrients one. The best time to eat any sugars is around workouts. It just is, 100%, okay? I want to fight. So a lot of you when you first start are probably very, very deficient. It's like type 2 diabetes as such, and you're creeping onto it. And all that is just where your pancreas cannot release enough insulin to absorb the carbs, so no matter what you do, okay, it's going to put them into fat stores. Can I turn that on me? Is that all right?
Just move around if you're a bit chill.
So every single time you should be having a solid meal, this goes for absolutely everyone here, apart from males, who would be another 5 grams on top, you should be eating, God, it's coming, isn't it? You should be eating in the realms of 20 to 30 grams of protein. 20 to 30 grams of protein every single meal. And the stepping stones, the little snacks I want you to do is to jump skip to the next one, okay? So keep your metabolism there. And that is the protein and fats or protein and fat. Now first, I put your active.
Yeah.
You can keep the active. You know, okay. So you can keep the active, it's fine. Just make sure it's an acidic active if you can. The acidic the better. To make it more alkaline. If it's sugary, if it's sweet, if it's sugary. If you ever eat anything that's got zero sugar and it's sweet, okay, that is not the case. Anything that says no added sugar usually means it's loads of sugar in already, we just haven't added any. Thank you. Okay. But otherwise, things like Coke Zero, which I was going to show in a minute, the ingredients, there's nothing in it, correct? Nothing in it. Look at the ingredients. Right? There are stuff in there that will stop fat burning, the fat burning process in the body dead for days. For days. There's a bigger picture of absolutely everything. Right, so I need you to all get more vitamin C in your diet. What vitamin C does, it splits our cells, our red and white blood cells. And if we have more blood plasma, we can train harder, we have a better metabolism. If we have more white blood cells, we have a better immune system. And you mix the whole lot together, in terms of like, this is amazing good for your immune system, which is a saturated fat, okay? The monosaturated fats make everything run smoothly, this and the other. You bring your blood pressure down, your cholesterol levels come down a whole lot, and that's why it's so important to have them all in balance. Right? You're never going to have them all completely spot on, they're going to be pretty damn good. So, yeah, carbs, let's go back to carbs, right? Bad carb. Bad carb, right, pretty bad. We can get low carbs of these, low carb ones of these. We've got them now, okay? Okay, we can get low carb ones of these. Where did you get it from, man? Was it here last night? I was looking for these guys, that's right, okay. Yeah, so you can get cauliflower ones, all sorts of ones, okay? But generally bad carbs, and the reason for that is because it's man-made, okay? It's stabilised, there's all sorts of stuff, there's hidden sugars. If I eat the white bread, right, I can taste the sugar, I can massively taste sugar. Wholemeal bread, okay, not too bad. If you make it yourself, you kind of know what you put in it, but it's still not great for us. It will bloat you like crazy as women, okay? It will clog you up instantly, especially if you're in ketosis, you touch that or even look at it, even just touch it, you'll get stuck. You sniff it. There you are. Right, so these are bad carbs. Right, now pasta is equally as bad. There's several reasons why this is bad. First, if it's man-made, flour, all that horrible stuff you shouldn't really eat. Okay, but if I took, say, that much pasta, which pretty much is what I want you to eat, okay, you could have pretty much half that bag of rice. Visually, you can't do that. Okay, visually people can't do that. So they have a crap load of pasta because it looks better. Carbohydrates are a filler, they're not a necessity. This is a necessity, protein. Fats are a necessity in our diet, they aren't. This is the way we're designed, okay? It's through evolution we're designed like that. These are only used when we require them. Right? But we need to be smart with them, right? So, complex, that is a complex carb, which is popcorn. That is a complex carb, okay? That is a complex carb. Risotto is a complex carb. They are complex carbs. It's just a bag of popcorn.
What about potatoes?
Yeah, well, I'll come to that. It's a little bit more in terms of sugar as well. Apples can be fully complex, can be sugar as well. Okay, so that kind of goes in the middle. Rice cakes, complex carbs. Bananas, full of potassium. Okay, really good around workouts because they pull the water out of the system, push them into the muscles, okay, make you look drier, make you look more leaner. Okay, the yellower they are, the more you get the mixture of complex and sugary. Sugar is fast burning, complex is slow burning. So slow burning is a slow release of insulin. Okay, not a massive spike, just keep going at the same going because it hopefully will sink in some way. Okay, and sugary is a fast release of insulin. Okay, you're going to then not mix any of that with a fast release of insulin. Okay, if you're going to kind of like, you're going to eat this, you can mix a little bit of fat. Okay, as long as it's a good, easy, absorbable fat. So if I say to you, I want you to eat feta cheese, okay, I generally say feta cheese, I wouldn't say put new potatoes or anything like that with it, because it's a real dense saturated fat. Right, so it's not a great thing to put with any carbs. You're going to get some kind of insulin release from this, even if it's complex, and that's really dense. It's desperately trying to do stuff with it. It's got protein, but it's trying to do stuff with the fat as well, and it generally will put the fat into stores. So that's why I put it as a snack. You can put it onto salads and stuff, just be careful and don't go too mad. Just be aware of these facts. As I said right, kind of like the beginning, if you want to be super careful, you don't mix anything with that in terms of carbohydrate with any kind of fat. You just don't, okay? You just be careful, you just kind of like don't run that risk. But you can if you're clever. And that's just me being really picky as well. Right? So, new potatoes and stuff. Problem with jagged potatoes is sometimes they can be really sugary and sometimes they can be really complex. And you probably all heard me say this, some maybe not. Okay, the best test is getting your favourite 2 jagged potatoes, putting them in the oven, cooking them for a long period of time, taking them out, okay, then open them up, and then what will happen is one will go brown inside and the other one will stay white and fluffy. The one that's gone brown starts to caramelise, and the one that stays white and fluffy is for the vitamins and minerals and complex carbohydrates. You keep that one to the side, you know what make that is. The best way of getting around that is just eat new potatoes. Okay, new potatoes are predominantly just complexy. There's a little bit high glycemic in there, and full of vitamins and minerals. Never lose the skins, okay, the skin's one of the most important parts of vitamins and minerals. Okay, so I put that in the middle brown with bananas. Beans, okay, you get low sugar beans, they're pulses. Now this is a bit protein-y plus carbohydrate. Pulses are fine, but you've got to be careful because a lot of people generally think, you might look at all these recipes or see something on Facebook where it says high protein recipes and you'll see it, or high protein vegetarian recipes, and you watch it and it will show you all the protein that's in it, it doesn't show you what the carbs or the fats are in it. So pulses are pretty much equal to themselves in terms of protein. So if there's like 30 grams of protein in there, there's about 30 grams, if not a little bit more carbohydrate. So you think smart, if you want to have a pulse dinner, which is just beans, okay, you'd have that probably after your workout, not probably after your workout, around your workouts. It's not a real fast release, it's a really good complex carb. This is a bit of a defunct thing, okay? So in terms of, it's a really good complex carb unless you're having it in sugars, which is a stack for the sugars because it's got sauce in it. That just kind of like all baked beans. Okay, so I put that kind of middle ground as well. All this, that stays well away from me, okay? I don't touch it unless I'm like having a really bad cheat meal. Crisp, really bad, horrendously bad combination. Horrendously bad combination. Right, so combination of foods, as I'm doing now, are really important, not just nutrient timing. Crisps in themselves are generally, they might try and cook like on a saturated fats or dry cooking and stuff, that's okay, but yeah, just crisp, just that kind of like that horrible combination you're always going to get you're always going to get a little bit of an insulin spike and you get this, that and the other, it's very hard to control. Anything that's man-made is going to be bad for you or very, very hard to understand whether it's going to work or not in terms of that insulin spike. So if you can control that by knowing you're going to split that carb up there, this fat here, and put that protein there, you're safe. That's why when someone starts a program, I make sure they're as lean and mean as possible. So that protein book I put out the other day, okay, and everyone grabbed it, and I said, please be careful, because if you're new to this, okay, your macronutrients could be all over the place from it. So I need people to be really boring at first, phenomenally boring. Right, so going back to fats, this is possibly the best fat you can possibly eat, okay? This is hemp seed oil, basically cannabis, okay? It's got 3 and 9, 3 and 6, sorry, omega oils in it, but it's got an additive in it that helps the body absorb it really, really well. So if you're struggling to eat any of them, you make sure you get something like that in your life. In your breakfast and even before bed. I'll come to that in a second. Right. Fish oils, fine. I've got my sorry, no, I didn't bring my cod liver oil, sorry. Cod liver oil, now cod liver oil has got a lot of A and D in it, so we don't have too much of that, because too much of that can cause rickets in the body. Anyone here suffer with arthritis? Arthritis, you do. Anyone else? Pains, any kind of pain or anything? Yes, right. So lip breathe muscle. I've asked you to take it, so it's one of the best things you can take for arthritis. Sharon, yes, sorry, Sharon. Lip breathe muscle, okay. So what happened here with the lip breathe muscle is it's just basically muscles, lip breathe muscles. There was they done a study on a village in England, and they found a load of people there, old generation, they all had arthritis, a lot of them, but none of them suffered with pain. Quite a lot of people after under the sea air and all that. When they looked into nutrition, they realised they were eating lip breathe muscles, a lot of them. Okay, it's really good for inflammation, it's massively good for pain. I suffer with arthritis in my hand, in my top part of my spine here. Okay, where else do I suffer? Up in my knee. Okay, but I don't suffer with it because I take that and glucosamine sulfate. I also train hard and I make sure the minerals are strong. Right, so glucosamine sulfate and glucosamine. The problem with this is, if you have too much of it, it can make you insulin deficient. So your body can't absorb carbohydrates very well. Okay, so all that glucosamine sulfate, what that does is it pushes more snow fluid into the joint. Glucosamine actually strengthens the cartilage you've already got. We won't rebuild it. The only way that happens is through stem cell research or having a joint replacement or something. Multivitamins. If you're not someone that doesn't like eating loads of vegetables and stuff, and blueberries and strawberries, just get a really good multivitamin like that. Take that first thing in the morning, empty stomach, 2 or 3 of them, maybe midday as well, and just before bed. It has zinc and magnesium in it, and it can make you dream funny dreams. If it does, you know it's working. If you suffer with a thing called SAD, which is a sun deficiency thing, a lot of people get that in the winter. Okay, they don't like the darkness and things. You really want to suffer with D3. Okay, I take in the winter. I don't suffer with it, but I don't. It just makes my body feel happy. It's a bit like a natural happy pill. And it's what we get from the sun. That's pretty much what we get from the sun. You can't replace what you get from the sun in terms of perfectly. Okay, but the vitamin we get from the sun, that's what you want to get. And then you want to have that in high dose. You want to have about 3 of them a day. B12, B6, okay, very important for women to take. Evening primrose. Who takes evening primrose? Evening primrose. You take it? Good. When do you take it? Every day? Okay, it's a monounsaturated oil, but really good for hormones. You've got slight hormone imbalance. So then there, okay, fish oil as well. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Laxative oil is fantastic. Okay, it's also good for eyesight. Laxative oil. But them there, it's a really good kind of like hormone balance thing. This here and that there is good for joints. That's kind of like just a natural thing you want to put in all the time anyhow.
What do you think about MCT oil?
Who, sorry?
MCT oil.
Don't know much about it.
Right,
I won't
okay.
talk about it.
It's a bit of a. It's a bit
I've
of
looked
a,
into that.
bit
It's
of a
probably
fad at the moment.
just a hormone balance thing, is it?
No, it's an oil. I don't exactly know what it is, but I know that a lot of people talk about how wonderful it is. I just wondered whether you knew about it.
No.
Okay.
Thanks for this. Call me out one. Bloody hell. I'll find out, mate. That's right, don't worry. So that's cinnamon extract. Okay, this is fenugreek. Okay, that's fenugreek. These two together are really good at making you insulin efficient. Okay, just cinnamon extract. Fenugreek. Okay, that mixed with the cod liver oil as well. So cod liver oil does joint mobility, brain power, process of protein. Okay, cleans your artery fluid, all that stuff. But it also makes us really insulin efficient. So I make sure I have 1 cod liver oil tablet a day. I have 1 of them a day. I have 2 fish oil a day. I also have 1 of them a day. Yeah. And I make sure I get these in my diet as well. Okay. Very, very good for making me super insulin efficient. So when I eat carbs, I absorb them. You can see them going into my muscles. Okay, you basically see my muscles filling up. So things such as like turmeric, that's really good for inflammation, also good for cardiovascular. Let's get that into your diet as well. Very good. Now, L-carnitine. You keep asking about L-carnitine. If you're on ketosis, L-carnitine is a good little thing to take for you. It's an amino acid. What it does is tell the brain to burn fat over carbohydrates for energy. It's not bad chemical or anything like that. It's just a natural. So a lot of stuff you eat is amino acid. So I could take an amino acid profile, right? I can take like a really packed amino acid profile, put it into my body, and make my body very, very alkaline. Okay, so it's not really good. But you know, something you take when you pre-workout, you take BCAAs. It's a really good amino acid stuff. That makes you very anabolic, and the body loves an amino acid. You can't keep getting them from certain foods. So we just add them in. This here, that's what in as well. Okay, so burn fat at the same time. That's actually really good for anyone that's on a ketosis. You can take it anyhow. Like I take L-carnitine around before workouts, after workouts, and before bed. Very important to take that before bed because your body likes to burn, likes to utilise fat for brain power, repair, and just burning fat cells for at night. I like to teach your bodies to, as I've said at the beginning, to use carbs for energy and fat elsewhere. And some people might think this is the wrong thing to do before bed. Not talk about people, fitness professionals, but people who actually don't know that much about nutrition. If I say I want to eat protein and fat before bed, I go, what, fat before bed? Yes, fat before bed, 100% fat before bed. Not a lot, just some good monosaturated fat or a coconut oil. That's okay, that's not too bad before bed. But otherwise, mix with protein and the brain power better, you'll sleep better. Hell better. Okay. So, if you're training, what time of day do you train again? So your normal breakfast at the moment is what?
I will come in with nothing and just do a free workout.
You're doing that, right? Okay, that's cool. You can do it. So let me just explain that a little bit. Okay, so if you want to come in, so if you're training in the morning, you want to come in fasting. All fasting is basically coming in with nothing apart from water. Right, so your body's a little bit itchy, it's looking for nutrients. It's desperately looking for nutrients. You wouldn't push that. So if you go up at 6 and you train at 9, you're trying not to do that every day. You want to be normal most of the time. So you want to actually get up and have your breakfast and tell the body, no, we have breakfast most of the time. Right, and then one morning you're going to get up and you're going to go, you're having breakfast morning, but it's going to expect it. Okay, so metabolism stays high. It goes, where's my breakfast? So the cortisol starts to raise and the body starts to get like a bit more, come on, what's happening? And then you work out, so what's that all about? And then it could actually crash and burn because it panics. So the best thing about pre-workouts is that stops that from happening, makes your antibody, this one here has actually got L-carnitine as well, okay? But yeah, stops that catabolic thing, that crashing and burning the body. You get through it and then it's kind of like, I'm going to stop in a minute, so the shoes stop, okay, and then you recover, thank you. And it absorbs it really well. Right? It absorbs whatever you give it pretty much well. But you just go to protein at the moment. You want to put your fats in the mix. And about 2 hours later, okay, then you go to your protein and fat, your vitamins and minerals, and you just keep doing that throughout the day. You don't touch carbs. It's pretty much as simple as that. So you will touch anything on this table. Okay, that's anything on this table. But the good thing about ketosis is, if you fancy after your dinner to have like some extra, I said this yesterday, extra fit cream and some strawberries and blueberries, you can. Okay? No one else here can. But I'd say you can. You can do it. I want more fats in the diet. I want more fats in the diet. I want your body to know that's your energy source. Okay? So, tuna, salmon, salmon, okay? Both fish, both good proteins. This one holds a hell of a lot more omega than this. So you've probably heard me say at some point, if you're eating salmon, you don't add any additional fat. If you eat tuna or cod, you add a little bit more additional fat. Salmon's a nutty fish, it's nuts. Right? It dies when it finishes getting to the top of the stream. These are a little bit more lazy. Okay, so that holds a lot more energy in your system, so it has to have a lot more fat. That's more lazy, so it doesn't hold as much fat from looking like that. That's the kind of way it is. You have to think like that. So you just have to know that when you eat salmon, you don't have any additional fat. When you eat this, if you're supposed to be eating fat with it, you add. Right, my food prep is as simple as I bring in 3 or 4 containers a day and 2 of these. Right? Every single day I go home, my wife's already kind of done it, something like that. Right, she have other containers slightly different from these, and she's already done it in the fridge. The following morning I get up, I put them in my bag, okay, and I make 2 of these. And all these are my carbs and my fats. The rest of it is just protein and vitamins and minerals. And I just put that together, and I just warm my meat up. So I like to do 2 amino acids, chicken and mince. I'll tell you why I have mince as well. Okay, and I'll just put that together. That's got a Maggi bag, That's a Maggie bag. Amanda puts it into a Maggie bag, puts it in the oven, cooks it, and she flavours my mince as well. Put my mince, man. Just a curry powder. Yeah, tastes really nice. Tastes really nice. So, Maggie bags in a second. The reason why I had them to amino acids is because mince, I've got creatine in it. Creatine's our energy system, creatine phosphate. If I do that, I'm using up energy. That mince, or red meat, has got a lot in it. So you heard me say so about that. The fact that you might see that you give a dog load, don't give that dog load of red meat, makes him aggressive. It's actually not that, it's probably just giving him a better energy source, so he's feeling a little bit more like lively. So it's not good to stick with one protein source all the time. That's why I mix my protein sources. But the two best protein sources for me are chicken and mince. Turkey does not work for me at all. I just don't seem to work. Not because I'm not keen, because it's just, I don't feel it. Fish, I've got this really mental thing with. If I get bone, I can't eat it again. And also, if I taste the fish, I can't stand it. And thirdly,
Yeah, fish is a bit fishy, isn't it?
and thirdly, it's a real, this is completely defunctional, not true at all. If I eat fish, I don't feel like I'm eating enough protein. And that's not true at all. It's just a mental state of medicine. So I stick with the two things I know that work the most. I make sure I get them both into my diet every day. And I'm just a bit gluttonous in terms of I mix them at the same time. So food prep's really important. You've heard me say that. Food prep, prepare to fail, and that stuff. Okay, so if someone says I didn't have time or anything, it's just the fact you didn't prepare. You didn't prepare to do it. Simple. Okay, it does not take, how long does it take to cook on it, man? And how many days it lasts? And how many days it lasts me? Right, so it lasts you a week. It lasts you a week, okay?
So that means, yeah, in the oven?
No, the mince is just cooked on, it's just lean mince, just cooked on the stove, and the Maggi just flavoured with some curry powder. And then we mix it with the Maggi bags, just in the Maggi bags, with the flavouring, one of these. Okay. And then, I mean, these aren't that great in terms, they're pretty low in sugars and that, but you spread it across 5 chicken breasts, it's nothing. It's nothing. So I don't worry, I love it when people tell me they make their stuff from scratch, it's amazing, like all turmeric and things that go, but I don't have time for that, to a point. And that's not me. I don't have time. I didn't prepare.
It's good.
I mean, I don't have time for it. I'm not fussed about it to a point, okay? So I know that if I take one of these jars, I'm going to take a really bad one, okay? This one I think is really bad, is it? That's not that bad, actually. This one's pretty bad. Yeah, okay. So, you know, quarter that jar's got 12 grams of carbohydrates in it, quite a lot of salt. Okay. It's pretty bad. If I don't entire jar, it's pretty bad. But I don't. I just have a flavour of it, top of it, and it's nothing. And I've spread it over 5 meals, it's zero stuff. So I don't worry about that. I just want a bit of flavouring in it, and it is nice. I've said it loads of times, when you go in a sandwich shop and you'll see coronation chicken, they ram it full of stuff. And it's, you know, why they do it, I don't know. Anyway, and you're having the sandwich, and it's just straight away, it's got, why don't you say, so why have to put so much in it? I don't get it. Basically, you can take any jar, okay, anything it is, and portion it out, and it's not going to hurt you. Your body's going to find some use for it. It's moderation. It's a moderation thing. If you want to make something from scratch, fantastic. I'm just not fussed about doing that stuff. We do sometimes, but very rarely. Okay, and these taste just as good. The amount of food I eat, you don't touch too much as food I eat. I was saying to upstairs, saying to Jack, I eat 350 to 400 grams of protein a day. Okay, 2 grams of protein per lean pound of body weight. That's a lot of protein after process every single day. But I make sure I drink my water, I take liver support, I clean my body through with apple cider vinegar and other detoxification things, and I do the best I can. I do drink alcohol, but when I drink alcohol, I make sure I drink a lot of water, I make sure I eat a lot of protein, I do all them rules that I kind of like preach, and they work perfectly. They work for everyone I tell them to do it to. Right, so things like celery. Anyone suffering with high blood pressure, no? High blood pressure? No? That low blood pressure is like crazy. Okay, but it's also got a ton of other benefits, you know this. I put something in the group the other day with the benefits. It's a really powerful bit of kit. Get celery in your diet. Okay? If you're going to eat any kind of spread, or you eat butter, if you're going to put the same spread in, don't go with margarine, don't go with anything like that. You might as well better off actually scrape off eating the tough, basically. It's just rubbish. If I'm going to cheat, I'm going to cheat. So if I'm going to have a cheat, I'm going to cheat. Do not, okay, this will keep you cleaner for leaner for longer, okay? Don't go and buy, you can if you want, like high protein, low fat cheeses that you don't really enjoy. Just be clean all the time and enjoy yourself when you want it. Right? It's simple, that's what I do. And it works, and all the people I've ever trained with, it works, it keeps you mentally sane. Otherwise you're just constantly looking for that next bite, just constantly looking for that next thing. good as I was, I had a cheat meal last weekend, on my Sunday, I had the cheat meal, and we went to Tesco's and I thought, I'm going to try something new, and I bought loads of little bits, didn't enjoy any of it. I just kept going until I actually kind of like found something I like. And that's ridiculous, mate. I thought so ill the next day, I was like that. And it's because none of it satisfied me. And I wish I just had something healthy, it made me feel better. So if you're going to have something nice, make sure you like it, and just do it and don't worry about it. If you're on a 28-day or 8-week program, be a bit more careful because you're new to it, and also I want you to be as strict as possible. But even then, the cheat meal is still a good thing. It's a good tool to use, just because it keeps you sane, something to look forward to. Just don't be too tricked if you get the next day and feel thinner, because all that is where your metabolism has gone back up through the roof. So a lot of people do a cheat meal at the beginning of a nutrition plan, or they might go onto a diet, I call it a diet, okay, but they go on a diet, and they suddenly have a bad meal and feel guilty about it. Next day, they go, oh, actually, I feel like I've lost weight. Just where your metabolism has gone up through the roof. Right? And then they, obviously I can eat that again. So in the middle of the week, at the beginning again, soon turn around and bites them at the butt. Right, so just 1 or 2 at most cheat meals a week. As I said about alcohol, try and stick to spirits. If you're going to drink wine, accept the consequences. Bloat, water retention, feeling like death. Okay, feel like you put on about 2 stone at the night, so as you can. And there's a mental thing as well, visual thing. If I eat something bad, instantly, a second ago, we made our lollies last night, and they didn't freeze, so I just sat there and had a whole bowl of lollies. I just feel great. And I just instantly went, okay, so it's just, yeah, but cheat meals, just don't worry about them, and bad weekends, you don't worry about them. Just stay as lean and mean as possible in the week. Do school night things, you've heard me say it tons of time, okay? Do a good run. If you give the body a good run, okay, it has every chance of actually adapting to it. So nutrition, the body likes to stay consistent. Training, it does not. Training, it likes to know nothing what's coming next. It doesn't like to know what's coming next. It likes to know what's coming next, okay, because it can adapt, but we don't let that happen, so I've kind of like said that the wrong way around. Right, so nutrition needs to be consistent, constant, same thing. It likes to know what's coming. Right, we're training it, likes to know what's coming, but we don't like it to know what's coming. Every now and again we trick it with nutrition, and all that is just the cheat meal. As simple as that. We put the cheat meal in. This is our leg here. You alright? Yeah, so noodles and that, middle ground sort of thing in between, not too bad. Pasta, but yeah, that's sort of like if I'm feeling a little bit, I'm going to cheat midweek or something, and I'm supposed to be having carbs, I'll probably have something like that. I just wouldn't touch any of this. It's just lethally bad. I do, but...
The chemicals are awful, aren't they? As soon as you've had one,
Yeah,
you've just got another.
yeah, it's a crunch. That's a good point. That's a really good point. So, some reason through evolution, in terms of like these craving things, a lot of stuff you eat, a lot of stuff, the reason why you crave them again is just because of the crunch and the actual fat on the tongue. Like you can get additives that you can add to your food that will give you that initial craving. Right? So, yeah, it's just like Pringles. Once you probably can't stop, you just can't help it. It's a crunch thing, it's an addiction thing, it's the fat as well.
Can't you get it to put on a salad?
You are?
I want some of that chemical to put on my salad. You'll be like, oh, lettuce!
Right, so green tea, who drinks green tea? Yeah, green tea is really good for metabolism. Really good for metabolism, okay? You want to get it into your diet, you will weigh a lot more when you drink green tea. Yeah, you notice that? Okay. Same with vitamin C. Vitamin C will do the same thing, will make you wee more, draws a lot of water out of the system. Okay, also speeds your metabolism and does other things else. Yeah, ginger tea is really good for us. Ginger is, yeah. Yeah, for the runners, it's got the ginger actually. But with runners, it's got a hell of a lot. A lot of stuff on this table, like turmeric and that, all come from the Romans. I do believe even something to do with protein they did as well. Anyway, right, so I said about general potato. Things such as a cup of soups, not too bad. Okay, if you want a little drink of an evening, whatever, okay, they're not, it's just got higher in salt more than anything. But once again, if we're doing stuff in moderation or body find use for it, I don't worry about things like that because I restrict all them salts and that elsewhere. I don't put any additional salt into my food, I just don't. Okay, I put a lot of black pepper in my food because it's good for metabolism, but I don't add any additional salt. So when I have stuff like that, I don't panic. Especially after workouts, electrolytes are so important to get into your body. So when you work out, if you drink alcohol, both, you burn electrolytes like crazy, zinc, magnesium, copper, all them really important things for body functions. So after workouts, if you had something salty, it's not a really bad thing, because you're going to replenish a little bit of your electrolytes. If you massively sweated in your workout, or even, sorry, they're going to work next door. All right. If you massively sweated in your workout, okay, really badly, You might even consider something like a diuretic to get them electrolytes back in. I take things like this. It's full of electrolytes. Okay, it's full of my branch amino acids as well. That is like a liquid, what it is, a liquid protein. So you're not putting any calories in your body. You're instantly starting the repair process with not taking the working blood out the actual muscles and away from the stomach. So when after you've had a workout, I ask you to eat something fast absorbing. The reason being is because you've got all the blood in the muscles, okay? The body's still working, it's trying to repair, it's doing all this some funky stuff. And you go home, 40 minutes later you'll have chicken breast and saying over, okay? That'll pull all that blood away from the working muscles, go in the stomach, make you feel sick. The body's still trying to push the blood to the muscles, and what it does is it takes it away from the unessential organs, from the stomach, and wants to bring it up. So if you eat too close to a workout, that'll happen as well. So you feel all right at first, and so you start working out, the body starts taking the blood away from all the unessential organs, i.e. the stomach. As I see, it's a pointless bit of kit at that point in time because it's struggling to work with you, okay? The liver and the kidneys, all that stuff. And there's something from functioning that just takes the blood away. Your stomach holds a hell of a lot of blood in to digest food. So what it's going to do is bring that up. So having pre-workouts prior to workouts is okay. It's okay, but make sure you get them in enough time. They are very fast absorbing anyway. Right, but make sure that you haven't eaten too close to that as well. I've made that mistake quite a few times. I can eat about an hour before my workout. I'll tell you what I eat for breakfast in a second, and I have a pre-workout and I'm okay. Right, that's just me. Don't miss out what.
Pre-workout, or do you have the BCAAs?
I have all.
And then that as well after?
Yeah. No, I have that during as well. Okay, so what I have in my breakfast, you can see with 2 scoops of white protein, egg protein, okay, that's egg powder, 3 celery sticks, cinnamon, 50 grams of oats. I have cod liver oil, evening primrose, everything I said down there. I make sure I put, I said cinnamon in and I blend that and I drink it. Okay. The only fat I have near my workout is that's like my fitness minerals, my cod liver oil and stuff like that. Right, then afterwards I have exactly the same, but no fats, so no fats. Prior to me working out, I have a pre-workout. I have that. I put turin in mine, I put glycerin in mine. I put carnitine in mine. Also berry extract. I can't think of the bloody name, but anyway, them 3 grams, sorry. I think it's caught my head. I think about them, it was something pop out. And I had that in my workout, okay? About 10 minutes before. Intra-workout, I don't have any pre-workout, but I have all that other stuff I just said with that. And it just keeps me going, And afterwards, I stopped drinking that about maybe 20 minutes, about 10 minutes, I'm only working out for half an hour, working out. Okay, about 10 minutes prior to the actual workout finishing because I know I'm going to jump in the shower, I need my body to calm down. And you know, you see, I'm like sweating, I come, oh, just finish the workout. And I've just down my milkshake. I don't like them too close, my protein shake, my recovery. My recovery is, no, you don't have 50 grams. 50 grams, by the way, I put banana in my breakfast as well. Okay, I have 50 grams of oats. 50 grams of oats, 1 banana, 2 scoops of white protein. Okay, again, I put celery in there to control my blood pressure a little bit to bring it down because my body's really heightened and stuff. Okay, and I put cinnamon in that again, and I drink it. Okay, and I put blueberries and strawberries in it. Again, I put blueberries and strawberries in my breakfast as well. I use frozen blueberries and strawberries, but I don't blend them. I put them in separately. First of all, it keeps the protein shake cold, and secondly, if you blend them and leave them for a long period of time, they start to ferment in there. Yeah. They're right if you turn it into like a complex, not a complex, it's not bad, but if you put it with another substance, it's something that starts to ferment and it goes sugary, you really can taste it as well. I don't mind it afterwards, that big incense spike. So I used to, years past, I used to get glucose in the down, as I said, I used to get glucose and I used to have 50 grams of glucose in my recovery, really phenomenally sweet. I instantly feel like that sort of thing. Okay, and then, but what I would get is this, Christ, really bad. So I'd have to quickly go and sometimes be in the middle of the session to the point of I'll be like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing now, I feel like I'm going to faint. So I don't do that. So what I do is I put simple complex in, a mixture of hypoglycemic as well. This gives me an instant spike. So all the way through the workout, I'm nice. Right? So I get this, right, with my normal carbs, with my sugary carbs, okay, and from this. And then my complex carbs are going in my system now doing this. So as this comes down, they meet, and that one takes over. And I feel more settled. And sometimes I have to go like 2.5 hours before I can eat again. What I normally like to do is I like to train, recovery shake. An hour later, I'll then eat again. I can't do that always, depending on how quick I transfer between sessions. So as long as I've got this under control, that pitch, which which I do for my complex carbs, I'm okay. All I ask you not to do is, okay, after recovery, I say, I look at you and I go, I have a banana or apple, because I can tell what's happened, so I can feel what's happened. So do you make sort of make a bit more sense of what I kind of do? So I might say, you look like you need something faster. Now you're cool, you can have something a little bit slower absorbing. You're still going to get a spike from that. Now even still, recently I've said, I want a banana, okay, I want something more sugary, I want that as well. So I can see you're going to get this because the body's going to sort of fast, and you're going to get that. Okay. Kenny Collins, first lesson was trained about a long time ago, 16 weeks or so. The first couple of sessions, she said she had a recovery, felt great, took her dog out for a walk, and then almost started crying. She said, you know what I do? Panicked, went home, and she said, I just had to have a protein and carbs. She said, that's the wrong thing to do. I said, that's the right thing, so it's completely right. Okay, all you've done is crash and burn. The worst thing you could have done was just left it, let the body go into a stress state, and then the cortisol levels go higher, and blah, 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 all this nasty stuff I talk about. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's what happened to her. So she'd have actually had a fast release with a complex coming up behind it, okay, she'd have been good. So there's different kinds of white protein we can get. The one I give here is a mixture of complex, so concentrate, isolate, and also calcium protein. The difference between the three is concentrate is like a medium release, isolate is a very fast release, and calcium is a really slow release. Generally you have calcium before you go to bed because it just lasts throughout the night, but it's not a fantastic great protein. That's as close as you can get to a calcium because that takes ages to absorb into the body, so it's a really good thing about life if you want a longer lasting protein. So this is why I say after you, have you got a meal plan? Like, say if you're training at 6, I go, have you got a dinner plan? Some people go, no, and I say, right, see if you can get throughout the night. See if you get throughout the night and then see if in the morning. Because this sometimes absorbs really fast into the body. But it's got all three in there. I'm not too sure. I do advise the other proteins you buy if you buy them. I know you're going to get a medium release, a fast release, and also a really slow release. So it should be okay. Now yogurt kind of does that as well, but that's more of a casein sort of protein. So you get a bit of a fast release, but not a massive fast release. Right, so white proteins are better than yogurt, but yogurt's okay. It's still a fast release protein. What I don't like you to do is go home and have solid food, because it takes all the blood away from the working muscles and goes into something. It takes ages to process. For years past, I've had young guys say, how do you build up that sort of stuff? Because a lot of you heard me say this. I go, well, firstly, obviously repetition, dedication, all that stuff, and it's all exactly in place. And I ask them what they do. So I train my arms 3 times a week. And first of all, that's the wrong thing to do, okay? And I ask about nutrition. I go, right, so when you train, what do you do? He said, well, I train, after I finish, I go home, I cook my chicken breast, sweet potatoes, and my broccoli, the usual bodybuilding meal. Okay, I said, okay, pretty good. How long will it take you to go? About half an hour. How long will it take you to cook a meal? About 20 minutes. Right, okay, you're now like an hour or so past, easily an hour or so past. Then you've got to digest it. Nothing happening. Okay, the body's not even digesting the food very well. It's gone very, very, very catabolic. And not anabolic. It needs to be anabolic. We want you to all be anabolic. You should feel good. You should never feel bad whilst you're training. The only time you'll feel bad is if I was comping with you or getting you to comp, you're going down to 3% body fat, you have to expect it. And you feel like death. You feel like horrendous. We bring up stomach acid, all sorts of stuff. You're incoherent. I won't be able to talk to you now. It's ridiculous. Okay? You do not look good like that. It doesn't look good. It's not healthy. It's just competition. 7% body fat, not too bad. I like to hold between 10 and 12 on a good time, but most of the time I sit around 12 and 15. And that's healthy, that's nice. It's a nice body fat percentage. Good. Women will hold between, a good body fat percentage will be 15 for you, massively good. Okay. You'll generally hold about 20 to 22, something like that. You hold a higher body fat percentage. It's just the way it is because your estrogen levels in your ladies, okay? You don't hold a lot of testosterone, although as you get older, your testosterone starts to rise and your estrogen levels start to drop. As a guy, his testosterone starts to drop and his estrogen levels start to rise. And that's why a guy can actually look a little bit more feminine when he's older than when he was younger. So things such as bloat, let's talk about bloat now, okay? So this will make you bloat crazy. Right? So transverse abdominis, which I've talked about a lot about recently, your metaphysis is your inner six pack. So a lot of the time, you might see a guy, you've also heard me say this, he'd be very, very thin but massive belly. Beard does that, okay? Hops does that. And that's just a loose transverse abdominis. So if you want to give yourself an appearance of looking thin, whilst actually holding still a little bit of weight or belly fat here, you do a lot of vacuums. Okay, vacuums. Who knows what a vacuum is? Not a vacuum, who would know? Right, you're going to do a vacuum. You ready? This is nice. Sorry? Yeah, yesterday, done a bit of vacuum, but I'll show you how to do a proper vacuum. You should do this every single day, twice a day, okay, and you'll notice a concave starting to happen. So if I'm standing here now, I'm not really doing much with my stomach. Okay, if I tighten it concaves nicely, okay, it's just come time. I'm not really tightening, I'm not doing much. Most people have to go like that to get that. So all the vacuum is you blow air, you put it standing, you put your hands on your hips, okay, you lean forward to arc the lower part of your back, okay, we'll do it, okay, to breathe the option out, now we're turning, concave or something, put it, you've got to breathe in, so it's doing this, like that, okay, now stand up, now tighten the belly, but keep that there, and you should feel pain here and there, there and there, yes, yeah, you get it, okay, release yourself, just release it. You've done it, so a lot of women suffer with lordosis, coach a low part of the spine, right? So that there will start to push that back. Your transverse abdominis, and people that struggle with core is because that is loose, that's not strong, and you have curvature low part of your spine. So if I'm this, okay, that, basically. Right, kyphosis is that, lordosis is that, sclerosis is up, wonky sideways. Okay? But if you've got that, you can't engage your core very well, so you'll end up with this blow. So you need to start training that backwards. And we lose that. You lose that. I mean, the best thing to do is if you can't do a vacuum, which we're going to do, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it and how to repeat it and make it an exercise. All day long, you should just tighten your belly and just suck in slightly. All day long. Okay, and eventually it just gets flatter. You have the middle, you have your inner six-pack, have your inner core, which is your spine. Okay, you have your inner six-pack, which is your transverse abdominis, your metaphysis, and your diaphragm, and a few other little bits and bobs. And you have your outer six-pack. Okay. The one that's on the show. That's no good unless the other two are kind of in control. So again, you do that, again you hold it, you hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then release. And you do it again. You repeat this about 10 times over. You do this in the morning, first thing in front of the mirror, and make sure you're getting that proper concave. Okay, and you do it just before you go to bed. Do not do it while you're driving. Don't do it while you're driving, and also, yeah, just do it in the morning and evening. Okay, so the other good way of doing it is who does yoga? Who does yoga? Anyone do yoga? Yeah, cool, right. So you get on all fours and you arc your back, okay, and you really curve all this, you get all that curve, okay, that's a really good way of doing it, because you're automatically pushing lordosis out. But you can do some standing. For some reason it helps if you put your hands right on the hips here. I think this gives you a connecting here as well. Okay, so you just, you know the other day you put your hand on the muscle and doing that? Yeah, same sort of thing. Right, so you breathe the option out, lean forward a little bit, vacuum, hold it. Once you've got it, you tighten it. Okay, and you hold it for about 7 seconds. That should be massively concave. If anything, like, you know, you can push it a little bit and then let it go, and you hold it. As I said, now release. Okay, that's where you should feel it. Roughly within 2 points where I have my thumbs. You repeat that 7 to 10 times. It will get quite hard, and you'll start to feel a burn inside. There is a thing called a vacuum pump. Whereas when you've got it in there, you don't release it. You just pump against your hand. Pump against your hand, and that make it really go. Don't do that just yet. That'll start doing the sit-up basically. Okay, you'll start to really get a burn. Do that 10 times over, first thing in the morning and before bed. Give yourself a week and a half, and I'll guarantee you 200% your money back. I'll guarantee you.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, do it. 100%. Do it. Do it. Watch the difference. Right, so when you then relax, you go, oh, shoot, right, look at that. You know, I'm not even tensing. And when you do give it a little tense, you go, Jesus. I've done my vacuums a while, but even just doing them two, then I can feel my transverse abdominis tighten up. So that feels nice. Okay, that feels nice. So I'm going to start doing mine again. When I used to bulk a lot, I used to do a hell of a lot just to keep an appearance of looking thinner, rather than having a blubber belly. So I want to talk about testosterone and how I make you anabolic. Okay, and it works for you as well as it does for guys. Right, so for years past, people used to bulk, including women, to grow muscle, and then they used to strip down and actually see what they had left. Right? But what actually happens is, if you're not on any kind of anabolic steroids or anything like that, you raise your estrogen levels like crazy. You rely on food for strength. So you think you're growing muscle because the weight's going up and this, and you're getting stronger. You do it for about 6 weeks and you cut back, and there's nothing there. You haven't gained muscle. If anything, you've actually lost. So what we've done is we've raised your estrogen levels too much and bottomed out your testosterone. Your testosterone is the main reason why you hold muscle mass. It keeps muscle mass in the body. You'll fight tooth and nail to hold muscle. So we don't do that. We stay in the lean position. So years ago, if I had someone that was really overweight and you wanted to grow muscle, I'd make sure, I'll do it now as well, I'd make sure, okay, you can't grow muscle from here yet, mate. I need you to lose it this much, but I can use this guy. No, you're missing the concept. That fat is fat, okay? It's not the case. I need you to get into an anabolic state, and then we go back. So how I do it, okay, I stay in that 10 to 15 body fat percentage. I watch my insulin sensitivity, and I'll show you how I do that in a minute. And you can do the same thing. It's a very tuned in thing. So I eat a lot of calories for quite a while. Don't talk about calories. I eat my macronutrients. Okay? And nothing's happening apart from growing muscle. Right? And I feel good. My libido's good. Sex drive's good, and all that stuff. And also it starts to dip, and I get a little bit of belly fat. I'm becoming insulin deficient. My body's starting to rely on food for its actual muscle mass. So I back off, and the main macronutrient I back off from is carbs. Because that's the one that's causing that. That's actually causing that. So I keep my protein good, up my fats as well, even up my protein, and I do a mini cut. So I won't touch hardly any carbs, a little bit. Only ran my workouts very minimal for about 2 weeks. Then I see it start to dissipate. Then I feel my well-being starting to come up now, my libido. So all of a sudden, my test has gone higher. My testosterone's gone higher. Okay, so I'm mucking back my insulin. This is how I got muscle, and how you do it as well. So I now know this is good, so I bring in the calories again. So before, what's happening is, my test went to here, but I kept the calories there. So I'm putting on unnecessary weight, I'm holding a lot of water retention, and I'm not really growing muscle. But what some people do there is they go, well, I need to eat more, I need to eat more, I need to eat more. And what I told John lately is, okay, is to not eat more in terms of carbs and that, because you've got enough in your diet, up your protein. Just up your protein, it's working, okay? So I know that this, yeah, and also that fat's starting to creep on, I stop that, and I reduce that, and then this comes back up, and then I can bring that into it, and I've got the most powerful thing there, which is my testosterone. Okay, it's the same for you as well. Same for you as well. So it's like, not you're trying to grow a coach amount of muscle. What I do with you is I keep you in an anabolic state by just drifting enough carbohydrates in at the right time. Okay, so not too much. Keep the body happy to keep it happy, to lower the cortisol and stuff. The rest of the time, keeping you anabolic through weight loss, enough weight loss for the body to want to hold on to the muscle mass you're gaining. Okay, so you get a good balance of testosterone and estrogen. You will, because the body fights tooth and nail to hold on to it. So guys that have done that, they do a sumo bulk, go to 22% body fat or plus, and then when they cut back, I didn't grow any muscle. No, I lost all muscle when I was cutting. No, you just didn't grow any muscle in the first place, because you was using food for your strength. I just saw that thing last night, that woman on Facebook, that thing, really weird, I don't know.
Oh, with the, yes.
She was just strengthening her back. They were trying to strengthen her back, but pointless.
Rude.
Yeah, but did you see the size? Did you see the size of her? Did you see the size of her?
Yeah, she was huge.
Yeah, she was huge, right? So they use, yeah. But what I'm getting is, they use, it's obviously a power different thing. If you look at someone like Garcia, that was running, okay, she'd be 10 times stronger than her, and she's phenomenally lean. Phenomenally lean, okay? She's phenomenally strong. And that's just because we do that thing. So I try and do that with you all the time. It's not easy for me to do, okay, but because I can't feel it from you, but that's what I do, and it works. It works. But anyway, that's a bit more science, that's more to do with like controlling your hormones and stuff, and manipulating so you've got a muscle. But yeah, excuse me, go back to this, just quickly. Milk, okay, not a great thing to drink. Okay, dairy produce is not. Things such as like almond milk, coconut milk, fine, really good. Just watch out for the fat content around your food. So if you're going to have it in your recovery shake, be careful because of the fat contents.
So is it okay, so in the morning if I have my breakfast, I don't have the nuts on my yogurt and oats?
Depends on how close you to the workout.
Oh, I always have that. If I'm having that, I have it 2 hours prior to the workout.
Perfect, fine.
Yeah.
There's a 2
But
hour
then I
window.
have that bit of fat, I have coffee and I have almond milk in it. So is that
It's perfect fine. As long as you're 2 hours. The 2 hours just, it's not, it's not perfect science. It's just a safe zone. I know your body will be calm by then, should be calm by then, or getting back to it. So when your body's in a heightened state, it looks for anything to kind of like to calm it down. And carbohydrates are the thing that does that. If you do that, it's like, oh, thank you, put something in there that it doesn't really want, it just, as I said earlier, okay, you get an instant response and it stores that one thing. So I'm careful not to do that. You're going to get a little bit of fat from this, you're going to get a little bit of fat from whatever you're eating, it's inevitable. We just don't add any additional fat. Okay, so, and then there's that other rule I said a second ago, if you want to be really careful, okay, you just don't mix any carbs and fats together. You just have protein and carbs, protein and fats. It's quite a hard thing to do. I don't know what to do. I mean, just a second ago I said the protein, I had walnuts in there, and I had about 40 grams of oats. So, but it's because my body's calm, it's a good fat, it's a complex carb. Okay, I'm not going to get any sugars off of that, not that much. So I know I'm not going to store fat from it. I know my body really well. So that's it. But yeah, things like fry light and that, they're all right. They're okay. I'd rather you cook with coconut oil or a little bit of butter, or nothing at all, really. Rather than put nothing at all. Turkey rations for breakfast, things like that. They're cool, they're alright. You can have them for breakfast. Lean bacon breakfast. Cook yourself cooked breakfast. Get yourself some high protein sausages, real like proper sausage. Band blood. This is nasty. I can't see up. It's very. That's a marmite. I mean, I just if it's ever been a while, it's blood. I can't think. That's what I mean.
It's protein, isn't it?
It's not good for us, it's not protein. It's like you can have the best cooked breakfast in terms of lean bacon rations. 2 eggs that you fry. Okay, and you can have some beans for that. Just make sure low sugar. And you can have a nice tomato. You can lay out the breakfast. Have a really good breakfast. Good breakfast. It's just you add them other things in like your hash brown, black pudding. I mean, you watch these programs and they cook breakfast in the morning. They've got that much fat in the pan to cook the eggs. What happened there? It's just ridiculous. I don't get it. And the sausage as well. How they put the sausage in it, it's like that. Exactly like. Yeah. I want to ask more about the issues. I need to ask. I want to try out exactly what you've got in that. Yeah, obviously.
What should I be having with it? Generally, we went out to dinner and I had steak, tomatoes, mushrooms, broccoli. I was too full up to eat chips.
Good.
So I didn't eat this, but should I be eating
What chips?
some of the chicken or carbs with it? No.
No, I want you to, once again, okay, so wherever your workout is, keep them carbs around your workout and keep the carbs away from the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Just think about that one rule, it's really easy to follow then. Lean meats are fine, and I said earlier, okay, I like red meat in the dark because it holds creatine in there, creatine phosphate, which is our energy system. So the more of that, sometimes you might eat, 1 week you might feel a little bit more aggressive or even like stronger than others, okay, that's because you've eaten like more energy system, you put more energy system. I supplement with creatine monohydrate. I wouldn't suggest you do as well because it can give you water retention, but I use mine really quickly. All creatine is, or creatine monohydrate, I'll talk about your meal in a second a bit more, and it gives us the ability to actually push harder for longer. So if I'm repping, say 10 reps, I'll be able to do 12 or 15, so then I know that I can up my weight myself, I've got my rep range. I generally keep you in rep range about 8 to 12 to 15 at most reps. I count yet, but I know I'm watching you and I'm thinking that's about 10 reps. Some groups I say count reps or you 8, 10 if you're not, up your weight. Okay, if you're lower than that, it's okay, just do a drop set. But that's fine, okay? Lean meat, brilliant. It's things such as I posted a picture of man, the guy sat next to us one night, he had this T-bone, it was enormous. I said, we've got to have that one. Anyway, I took a picture and didn't actually do it, mate, injustice. I tried to put my hand in it and we ate it, it was disgusting. It was really not nice at all. But they're the sort of things you want to steer clear from. Fillets are fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. You can get that 2-3 times in your nutrition one. I eat mince all day, every day. All day, every day. All it is lean mince. Lean mince has got the same fat content, the same fat structure as chicken. Which is that most people will buy like 10 or 15 percent. They both got really. Sorry? You get 0%. I get 3 or 5. I find you go 3 goes a bit chalky. 5 is nice, and anything above that starts to taste funny as well. But yeah, so carbs around workouts, simple. Protein and carbs around workouts. Protein and carbs around workouts is definitely. So oats, banana, 672 macronutrients are really good. Okay, and whey proteins or yogurts, perfect. And a 2-hour window past that. So the only time this defuncts if someone's finishing training at 7 and they want to eat again. I want to go to bed by 9:30. I go, okay, just be careful. See how you feel. You've heard me say this over times. Replenish your glycogen cells afterwards with the protein. And at dinner, if you're still a little bit jittery, add a few carbs, otherwise leave the carbs alone. Just go with protein and vegetables. Okay? If you're a little bit jittery, you can put them carbs in the mix, you wouldn't add any additional fat. So this is where it can get confusing for people because sometimes I say, what are you having? Okay, salmon goes, right, okay, have your recovery, be careful, because if you're going to need more carbs then you're going to very careful. Macros are highly best. So if you were to have a train like you wanted fish, I suggest you would something like tuna or cod. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, just keep that risk of that incident spike now. But you should know kind of by now through your training, if you've been training for like 4 or 5 weeks, that after my workouts, your sessions always get harder, but your body's always it's adapting. So it won't really change your recovery. Makes sense? It won't really change, you'll kind of know, because your body's always adapting and getting better at it. You should know, no, I'm okay, I have my recovery, and then I'm quite calm by an hour later. Okay, that's good. So you know that, yeah, right. We have the salmon, have the fats with, I don't have any fats with, sorry, have your vegetables with it, and then if you're a little bit jittery, okay, then, which you shouldn't be, because you should know that, then you just have that. If you're not too sure, I'd say, right, have chicken, watch out, see if you're jittery, add some carbs, leave the fats in. Make a little sense. So it's the same with morning workouts as if you're having your lunch. If after you've had your recovery, you get to lunch, you're still a little bit like that. You know it's all that carb digestion, this and that irritation thing. You get to lunch and I say, right, add some new potatoes with the chicken salad. Just be careful not to add additional fat to it. Just be careful. At first, I don't say anything about that. I just let it roll because it's good macronutrients. It's healthy. It's putting you in a good place. It's resetting you. So health, even though health to weight loss to muscle gain, eating healthy is super important first, and then we can manipulate in the symptoms which is what I'm talking about now. Which nothing about this symptoms. Because we're stopping the storage of fat and we don't put the macronutrients in what we actually need. And the more you do it, the better you'll get it. It's a simple rule. Okay? If you want to clean it up, protein and carbs together, protein and fat. You put protein and carbs around workouts, unless you're in ketosis, just be protein and fats the rest of the day. No matter what. You do the minerals, and you're safe. If you're going to mix all 3 macronutrients, I'm just asking you to make sure it's a complex, with good monosaturated fat, and good protein. If you're going to eat salmon, you don't want that. You mix it with good complex carb. Otherwise you're going to get big insulin spike. So when I ask you to eat nuts and apples together, it's okay. I've said this about half an hour ago. Just be careful, it's not a real sweet one. Yeah.
What apple do you eat? What type of apple?
Just like a sour one. And they're better for us as well. They make us more alkaline. You can process food better. They're more complex as well. Yeah, so they're more complex.
Pink ladies, they know good. Pink
This is
ladies.
sweet and I'm being very picky, okay? So do it first, you'll find it first. Eating for health is fine, okay? It's a lot better than just, you're eating healthily, that's fine. Once we've done it a little bit, then we'll say, like, take that away, or add that in, or make sure you're eating a green banana. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So do you understand what's saying about the insulin spike in the complex?
A little bit. I kind of wish I could do it a little bit longer to kind of understand
You're
it.
okay.
Because like, I've only done 2 evenings and
No,
the
it's
first
all right.
one was lovely. Do you know what I mean?
So let me just clear up one more time with you. It's really important. It's very important. So when we train, okay, after you train, your body looks for an insulin response to replenish the cells. So we give it. What we give it is carbs, sugary carbs, or even complex carbs. Right, and then we also give it its protein, that's super important. It's what we want to push into the muscles. Right, now when you get an insulin response, it's very good at storing stuff it doesn't require, such as fats. Now around a workout, it's going to be looking for its carbs because that's what you're eating for energy. If you give it the fat as well, it will put that fat into stores, pretty much more than likely. If you mix sugars and fats together on their own and with a protein, you will get instant fat storage no matter what time of day it is. Because sugar is a really fast release of insulin. Okay, it's a really fast insulin, and the body has to deal with it. It has to. Right, and the fats that come behind it, especially if it's a horrible thick saturated fat, not a monosaturated fat, which is a runny fat, okay, it will push it into stores. So that said, if you want to be careful and make sure you're not going to get any of that, you just have protein and carbs on their own, carbohydrates, protein, yeah, and you skip the fats out. So salmon, you wouldn't have with it, you wouldn't have mackerel with it. As your protein source, you just have like your chicken and stuff. You're going to get a little bit of fat from your chicken, but not that much. Right, and the